So in this video I'm going to be showing you how to install the software, and there is a couple of ways we can do that. And what I suggest you do is go onto the Adafruit website, this website up here. I will link it below this video. But if you search for Google Reef-pi on Google, you should come up with the Adafruit website. And this website has some really good information on how to install it. So we're going to basically be following this as a guide, and it goes through all the different steps that we have to do to install it correctly. And in this video we're going to get to this stage here, which is when we're able to put in the password and username. And the first thing we're going to have to do is we're going to have to install Raspbian on the SD card and get a Wi-Fi connection to the Pi itself so that we can start putting in these commands. So to install the Raspberry Pi software onto the SD card, you're obviously going to need your SD card inserted, and then you're going to need to know which drive it is. I've already made note of mine. Mine is drive I. And you're going to want to go to this website here, the Raspberry Pi website, software, and you're going to want to go down and you're going to want to download the Raspberry Pi Imager. And I've got it for Windows. I've already downloaded it, and it is this bit of software here. It looks like this. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go into here, and we're going to select which Raspberry Pi we have. We have the Pi 0. So you'll notice mine's in German here because I'm in German and my computer's in German. But you're going to want to use this middle one here, and it's the operating system. So you're going to click that, and then I'm going to go and select Other. And I'm going to select the light version because we don't need the desktop environment because we're not connecting a monitor to this. We're going to go with light. And then we're going to select the which SD card we have. And I made note before, it was I. And this card also has some sort of a partition on it, so I'm going to select that one for now. And then we're going to click next, and then we're going to click change the settings here, this one here. And this window here gives us a chance to change some of the settings. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a new host name, and I'm going to call it Reef LED 1. And that will be the name that we have to put into the search bar up here to find the LED. So we can give it a username and password here as well. So I'm going to click that, and I'm just going to put in here Reef LED 1 and a password. This is where you can put in your Wi-Fi. My password and my things are already been taken from my laptop here, but you would put in your SSID here of your Wi-Fi network and your Wi-Fi password. And I'm going to click this as well just to make sure it knows that I'm in Europe. That is my time zone because I'm in Germany. And on the second page, you're going to want to make sure that SSH is activated. That is the way that we're going to be able to contact the board without having to actually physically have a mouse and keyboard connected to it. On the options page, the next one, leave it as it is. I've not changed anything there. So you need just to have the first page, you need to set a host name, and you need to make note of that, and you need to make note of your password and username and all that on this page, and make sure that SSH is activated. Then you click on save, click on yes. It's then warning you that all the data is going to be erased on your SD card, which is obviously what we want. And now we just have to wait and let it do its thing. It's going to write the SD card, and then we can put it in the Raspberry Pi and move on to the next stage. Okay, so and with that we can now close this window because we're not going to need this again. And we're going to download a program called Putty. And that is this program here. You're just going to go to putty.org. And you're going to click this link here to download the program. Now I already have it installed, so I'm just going to click here and it will appear. But this is the window that you're going to want to have, and you're going to want to put in here into this window the name of the host that we put in before. So mine was Reef LED 1. You're going to make sure your port is set to 22 and you're set to SSH, which we activated on that second page. And then we're going to click open. So you will eventually get this message here, which is basically saying that it is never connected to this computer, and do you want to accept it? Are you sure? You're just going to click accept, and then you bring in the login data. So you're going to put in the data that we put in on the Raspberry Pi software, the first software. and then you'll get to this stage here. And now once we are here, this is where we go back to this manual here, and we have to start copying and pasting some stuff here. So the first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to copy this. So we're going to copy it, and we're going to come over back into our window and just right click, and that will paste it in. Press enter, and it will update the Raspberry Pi. Okay, so now that's done, we're going to go back to the Adafruit page, and we're going to go and copy the next one, and then come back to our window here, right click again and paste again. I like to do these one by one. You can just click here to copy the code and it will do them all at the same time, but I like to do them one by one and be sure that no errors have come up and make sure everything is been done successfully. So that's that one done. I'm going to go back, copy this one, and then right click again, enter. That was a quick one. Copy that one, and right click and paste. Now that's done. This one here we don't need. This is the Raspberry Pi has 2 PWM pins which you can use without having the PWM board which we have installed ourselves. So we don't need to do this, so we can ignore this one. This one here, we need to do because we have this sensor installed, so we're going to have to copy this, and this will open a different window. This will open this here, and you can see we are now in this sort of area here, and we're going to go to interfacing options. So we're going to go down to interface options, that's this one here, number 3, press enter, and we're going to enable the one wire. Select, would you like the one wire to be enabled? We're going to go over to yes and press enter. OK. And another thing we're going to do in here, which I don't know if it's in the manual here. No, it's not. We're going to go back into the interface options, and we're going to go and make sure that the I2C is enabled. So we're going to press enter on that. Would you like it to be enabled? Yes, because this is the protocol that is used to connect the PWM board that we have installed. So keeping in the interface options here, if we go back to the manual here, we're going to want to disable the SPI because we're going to be using some of the GPIO pins, or we're going to want to be able to use them. So I'm going to go and disable that. Would you like it to be enabled? No. Okay, and going back to the manual, the next stage is to reboot, and then we're going to install the Reef-pi. So we're going to want to go back into here, and we're going to go down to finish. Press enter. Would you like to reboot? Yes. And this will now lose its connection because it's obviously going to reboot the Raspberry Pi, and we're going to have to reconnect as we did before using PuTTY, and that's where I'll pick up the next little stage. Okay, so you can now see that I'm back at the stage where we just got logged in, and going back to the manual here, we are going to have to copy this bit of code here. So this first bit here we'll actually go and get the latest version, so we're going to copy that, bring it back over here, right click and press enter, and that will go and download the actual file itself. So now that's done, we're going to go back into here and we're going to want to copy that there. We're going to go copy, and we're going to go back over to here and we're going to go and paste it, and we press enter, and that's it. That is all you need. And now we're going to type in sudo reboot, press enter, and that will now lose the connection. And the next stage, it's going to reboot itself, and the next piece we're going to connect to the Reef-pi, and we should be able to put in the password and username and be able to connect to it. Okay, so mine actually lost connection there at some point, but I've left it a few minutes, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to close this window now, and over here I'm just going to go and copy in the address that we had before. which is that there, and that should be able to now connect to the Reef-pi software itself. So if I press enter, and now you should be able to log into Reef-pi. The standard username is Reef-pi, and that is also Reef-pi, and that is also the password. Press enter, and that's it, we're in. So now we're in here. The next video I will show you what you need to change in here and how to get the actual light up and running. I'm going to leave this video here, and the next video will start here, and we will get and start putting in some of the settings ready to get it up and running. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video.